These 7 self-care habits have helped me transform my life from a once depressed and suicidal state to my current state of wellness, which is full of love, laughter, and hope. Let's go ahead and talk about these 7 self-care habits and mindset changes that changed my life and maybe can help change your life as well. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Asiyah from Asiyah's Plant Life, and I'm so happy that you're joining me today. So today I'm introducing my Wind Down Wednesday series. Every Wednesday I will post a video on ways that you can implement self-care into your lifestyle to help you wind down and decompress from just your everyday goings on, whether it be work, kids, activities, volunteer work, running a business, whatever it is that you do that can stress us out and kind of help get us to the point where we're pulling our hair out. I'm going to give you some tips and pointers that have helped me and that I've implemented in my life and that I'm still implementing in my life that can also help you. So today I want to talk about my 7 self-care habits and mindset changes, and they go hand in hand. In order to develop a habit, we have to have a different mindset, right? So if we decide that we want to wake up every day at 6 a.m. when we're not used to doing so, and we're typically waking up around 10 or 11, we have to change our mindset to say, you know what, when that alarm goes off at 6, it doesn't matter how tired I am, I need to get up and I need to get my day started. So before we can develop the habit, we have to have a mindset change. So my 7 self-care habits are also rooted in mindset changes. I'm going to link in the description box my video that I did about how plants saved my life. And during the time that I was going through that transition of utilizing plants, or I should say horticultural or plant therapy, to help me come out of my depressed and suicidal state, I also learned that implementing other types of self-care into my daily or even weekly routine were much needed in order for me to become the healthy and happy person that I am today. So let's get started. The first of my self-care habits is my regular plant care routine. Now, yes, this is Asiyah's Plant Life, right? So I talk about plants here, but it's important for you guys to know that I didn't get into plant care because my family was in it and it was passed down to me, although my family did always have plants growing up, or because of it's a fad or it's trending right now. Plants helped me to feel better when I was in a very bad place. And because of that, I've learned so much about nature and just about myself through caring for these plants. So continuing to care for my plants and to learn about them and to research and to just grow my knowledge base is really therapeutic for me. When I touch my plants, when I walk into my home and I see them, when some of them have certain smells, when I smell them, just being around them for me is so therapeutic and makes me feel so amazing. So that is something that I continue to incorporate into my daily routine, whether it's spritzing, watering, pruning, just walking past and touching or smelling. I am always interacting with my plants in some way, and I'm always learning more about how to be better, how to be a better plant parent. Number 2, I read a lot. Now, I've always enjoyed reading, but there was a point in my life where I didn't read as much. And one of the things that I've learned from some of the motivational speakers out there and the self-help gurus is that when we expand our knowledge, we step into a different place. We can communicate better. We can receive and process information better. We have a different outlook on life and on people and on situations, and reading allows us to develop our mind in that way, in such a way that our life can change. For me, I incorporate reading into my routine. I could read a blog post. I may read a book, a journal, any number of things, I find that if I'm reading something and it has to be something that's positive, not just anything, guys. It has to be something that is positive and upbeat and that lifts my spirits up. And I try to do this every day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes. I try to read every day. Last year, I read over 60 books, and that's the most books that I've ever read in my lifetime in 1 year. Over 60 books. When I finished one book, I put it down and I jumped right into the next book. So I read for development. I read to increase my knowledge, to help me learn different ways of speaking and communicating and grow my vocabulary and just my outlook. So that's number 2. Number 3, travel. Yes, I love to travel. It wasn't always something that I've been able to do with having, at one point in time, 5 children in the home. Now I only have my 2 youngest. The other 3 have gone on to do what they do. But at one point, having 5 children in the home, and, you know, being on a tight budget. At the time I was married, and we all know just because when a person is married doesn't mean that you don't have financial issues. So we were able to achieve some things in life, but one of the things we weren't able to do was travel often. And I made the decision that I love to travel. I traveled a lot with my grandmother and my mother and my cousins as a child. And I kind of slowed that process down when I got older, and I realized that I love to travel. I want to meet new people and taste new foods and smell new smells and see new sights and look at the different architecture and swim in waters from different oceans. Like I love the travel experience. So I plan travel. Now I'm not traveling as much as I want to. My goal is to be able to travel overseas 3 to 4 times a year. I will only be going out of the country for my 2nd time this year in December, and I'll be going to Costa Rica. I went to Cuba in May, and it was an amazing experience. I cannot wait to go back, and Costa Rica is next on my list. So plan travel, and don't just plan it, guys. Plan it and see it through. Make sure that you do travel. You might not be able to travel to another country for whatever reason, but even to the next state over, a day trip or a weekend trip. Change your setting, change your scenery, and it does so much for the psyche and for the mind and to lift the spirits. Number 4, journaling. I journal. This is also something that I incorporated into my self-care routine about 2 years ago or so. Currently, I'm using the Panda Planner. I'll link it in the description box so that if you guys want to pick it up. The Panda Planner is amazing. I went through 3 or 4 of the 90-day planners, or no, it's 120-day planners. I went through 3 or 4 of those before I actually purchased their year-long planner, which is amazing. This journal is a self-care journal, and it's a gratitude journal. So not only are you journaling and using it as a planner for your day, putting your events of the day or your task of the day, it also gives you, it asks you to take a moment to give thanks for the reasons why you are grateful in the morning. And in the day, it also gives you another prompt to pat yourself on the back and talk about your wins. What did you do that day? What did you accomplish? What made you feel good? I absolutely love this planner, and daily journaling in the morning. Now, I have to admit, I'm not perfect, so there are some mornings that I miss. And when I miss those mornings, my day doesn't necessarily go how I want it to go, because I've become so involved in journaling and what it does for me and how it allows me to align my day. So journaling is absolutely part of my self-care routine, and it's also a mindset change, because I have to make it up in my mind that I need to get up early enough on the days that I plan on journaling so that I have the opportunity to take my time and journal before I get the kids up, to get them ready for their day, ready for school, about my business, whatever it is. I have to make myself aware of the fact that I need to do this for my self-care so that I can be at my best, and so my day can be as productive and as peaceful as possible. All right, number 5, guys. Number 5, we're almost done. Grounding myself spiritually. Now, as I mentioned in my Plant Save My Life video, I no longer am practicing a formal religion for various reasons, but I have found ways to ground myself spiritually. One, by using plants and nature, by surrounding myself with other people who have a spiritual base that understand that, yes, there is a higher power, but we also have to understand that how we move forward in humanity, how we communicate, how we deal with one another, how we respect nature, how we just move through this world and move through this, through this earth and move through this life, because we only have one. So grounding myself spiritually, understanding that for me, and this might not be your story, but for me, I did not have to practice a formal religion in order to have a spiritual connection. So that is part of my day. I give thanks every morning when I wake up for my health, for my family, for my presence of mind, for my strength, for my home, for everything that is important to me. That is how I start my day, and that is how I end my day. Number 6, guys, saying no. We never want to say no, right? But when I tell you that saying no is so empowering, and it is probably one of my top self-care habits. I always, I'm a people pleaser. And how many of you are people pleasers? Put it in the comments. Let me know. You don't want to tell anybody no. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want to hurt feelings. You don't want to upset. But saying no is sometimes what we need to be our best and to feel our best and to do our best. If you are stretching yourself too thin, if you're not allowing yourself enough time to heal, to rest, to take inventory of what you need to do in your life, and you're always going and doing for someone else, there's no way that you're going to be at your best and that you're going to maintain your level of wellness. So saying no is empowering, and I encourage you, I implore you to say no when it does not fit your lifestyle, when it does not fit your timeline, when it does not fit your availability, your interest. It is okay to say no. All right, guys, say no. Number 7, vision board. I write my goals on a vision board. And if I'm not writing them, I have a few Pinterest boards that I use where I put my visions on there. But not just writing or creating a vision board, because how many of you know about vision board parties? They happen especially around the end of the year or the beginning of the year for New Year's resolutions, and then they kind of fade away. Well, vision boards help us to put our goals into plain sight. But the thing about vision boards is you want to work towards achieving those goals. Put the visions down, set the goals, and achieve the goals. And whether it's a small goal like I need to go to the grocery store and be home by 10 a.m. or it's a large goal like I want to travel to Costa Rica, or even larger goal, you want to purchase a home or you want to earn $1 million. Whatever your goals are, put them on that vision board, set a time frame, and then when you achieve that goal, no matter how small it is, celebrate yourself, celebrate that win, whether it's with a glass of wine, if that's your thing, you go out and you have dinner, you go and you get a manicure, pedicure, you call somebody and you have them give you a hoorah and celebrate with you. Whatever it is that you do, you want to celebrate your wins. That's so important, to set a goal, to have a vision and make that vision into a goal, and from it being a goal, you actually achieving it. Do you have any idea what that does for us, how that makes us feel? It's so important that we celebrate our wins. And sometimes we think, oh, that was so little, it wasn't really a big thing, but it doesn't matter. If you celebrate that little win will give you the energy and the desire and the purpose, make you feel purposeful to move forward to achieving the larger goal. All right, guys. So those are my 7 self-care habits and mindset changes, but I do have a bonus for you. So this would be number 8, but we're just going to call it a bonus. And I mentioned this as well in my Plant Save My Life video. Therapy with a licensed therapist. It doesn't matter if you've had a traumatic experience, if you are going through a difficult time in your life, if you've experienced loss, if you're depressed. A lot of times we think when a person's going to therapy, they have some sort of life dimming experience going on that they need to go and sit on someone's couch and talk, but that's not it. When you go to therapy, not only are you in a neutral setting with an unbiased person who is listening to you and reflecting back to you to help you make the best decisions, the best choices, and make the best moves in your life, you can sit there without fear of being judged or anything. Not only that, when you go to a licensed therapist, they are trained to work with you. You have therapists that work on everything from family issues to sexual trauma to PTSD, that work specifically with veterans or children or whatever. There's a therapist out there for you. So I recommend that you find a licensed therapist and add that to your self-care routine and make it a habit. Go weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is that you agree upon with your licensed therapist, but make that a habit. It's helped me immensely, tremendously with the 7 other self-care habits and mindset changes that I just went through, guys. And I can't speak about it highly enough. And I know sometimes as women, particularly women of color, it's not something that we talk about or that we want to even admit to, but I do believe that it's important. And from my standpoint, once being depressed and suicidal and angry and bitter and losing so many years of my life to those negative emotions, and now being in this amazing space, therapy has helped me tremendously. All right, guys, so that's it. My 7 plus a bonus self-care habits and mindset changes. I hope that this helped you. Let me know in the comments what your self-care habits are, what you've been doing, what you plan to do. I would love to know, and maybe I can incorporate some of what you guys are doing into my lifestyle. So guys, that's it for today's video. I will see you next Wednesday for part 2 of our Wind Down Wednesday series. You guys have an amazing, amazing week. Take care of your plants, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Peace.